Hello AOS fans, it's me Pete, and I'm coming to you with another deck video. This week I've been a little bit cheeky, I'm a little bit lazy, and I've been net decking. Yes, I've been picking up decks online and playing around with them. I haven't actually played around with them at all, that's a lie. I've just picked one up and I'm going to play it and see how it goes. This week I'm going to be the Wild Hunt, and I'm going up against Robin, who is going to be playing Thunderix Profiteers. This was a battle report picked by our Patreon supporters. At $10 level you do get a say in everything we record, so maybe if you want a particular matchup to come out, it's worth having a look. There's loads of other extras there at the same time. But without further ado, let's crash on with this deck. So it's a nice compact 10 card Gambit 10 card upgrade deck, and obviously 12 objectives. So let's jump right in and have a look at what we've got. First card in here is Calculated Risk. Almost definitely going to use the cat to score that one. That's a nice one and easy to score. And then Fired Up, a nice easy one to score as well, because they do inspire when they charge. So if you get the second activation, you choose to go second. By the fourth activation, hopefully you can make a fairly easy safe charge with someone, get them inspired, and that's a guaranteed score. Then keep them guessing. The ability to be able to blow the horn for an activation, and also there are a few other things in here which enable you to get someone to make a move action as well. Could make it very easy to score indeed, and it is 2 glory. I then got Martyred because some of my guys are a little squishy, especially the cat. If I charge him across the field, I could possibly score Calculate Risk, maybe even Martyred by just running through a couple of lethal hexes. Then Cry of the Wild. This is a dual score. If Carthaean blew the horn and Carthaean is alive, then you get a glory. Well, he's going to sit near the backfield for a lot of the game anyway, so you might as well blow on that horn, give it a toot, and get me some glory. Then Hunt's End. This is a hybrid card, so if an enemy fighter with wounds characteristic of 4 or more is out of action, or your warband holds 3 or more objectives, you score this. And it's 2 glory, and I really like this kind of card, and I always say this, but I really like it, because you've got options here. If your opponent has some 4 wound fighters running around, you can go that way. If they don't, then you can go after the objectives. Also in a best of 3, you can use it one way one time, your opponent doesn't know what they're going to do with it the next time round. So overall, love this card. I then got Purifying Rites. Scores in the end phase if your warband holds all the objectives in 1 or more players' territories. Well, hopefully they'll be fairly easy to hold the ones in your own territory as long as they're near the backfield. And that's another 2 glory, which is still pretty tasty. Rundown is next. Score immediately when a friendly fighter takes an enemy fighter out of action with an attack made as part of a charge. Well, make a charge, kill someone, get another surge glory. Thank you very much. Then Run Through. Score immediately when your leader takes an enemy fighter out of action. Well, my leader's pretty tough, so hopefully that shouldn't be too hard for him. Then Safety and Swiftness. Score in an end phase if 3 or more of your fighters have a move or a charge token. That's going to be pretty easy to achieve, I reckon, so I can score that one. Soul Binding next. Another surge. Score immediately when your warband casts a spell. Now, looking through this deck, there are only about 3 spells in here, so that could be a little bit of a problem. But again, it's a surge and it's 1 glory, so hopefully if I get any spells, I can hold on to them for a little while, just in case this card comes out. And last but not least, Swift Capture. This is another dual surge card. Hold an objective in your half, hold an objective in their half, get a glory. Thank you very much. I'm pretty fast, I should be able to pull that one off. So those are my objectives. How am I going to score that glorious glory? Well, these are my gambits. Like I say, it's a nice toit 10 card deck, and the first card is Abyssos's Withering. -1 wound to a minimum of 1 on an enemy fighter if you cast it. It's only a lightning, hopefully I can inspire him fairly early on. Should be easy to cast, -1 wound, makes somebody much more killable. Next one is Haymaker, +2 dice, but then you lose your defense dice, so this is a bit of a double-edged sword. I would possibly swap this one out for one of the other +1 dice cards instead that might give you something else as well, but doesn't remove your defense. I don't know, I'll have to see how this one plays out. Then Regal Vision. Choose a friendly fighter that is holding an objective and they become inspired. That could be very handy for Carthaean, or the guy with the horn. I think his name's Carthaean. This is how much I played this warband, I can't remember their names. Stick them on an objective, pull that one out of the bag, he's inspired, bosh. The next one is Sphere of Akshi, a nice spell here, range 4, 1 damage, it's only a lightning, so again if I can get him inspired first, that's another 1 damage along with Abyssos's Withering, could really make it easy to take down a 4 wound fighter. Then Inspired Attack, +1 dice and +1 damage, but your fighter does have to be inspired as a result of it, but that should be fairly easy to do. I then got Fleet of Foot. Choose a friendly fighter that has no move or charge tokens and they make a move action. Well, that's great because they make a move action, so that helps you keep them guessing. And you do it in the activation, in the power step, rather than the activation. So being able to do that move and then possibly put someone in a position where they can make more than one attack afterwards could be very helpful indeed, especially if Robin's already committed somebody with a charge. I can just move up and then hopefully get multiple rounds of hitting him in the face. I've then got Hunt in concert, pick 2 friendly fighters and push each of them 1 hex. That's good for grabbing objectives. It's also good for shoving my people up the field and getting them into a position where I want to smack someone in the face. And then Might of Kurnoth. This is a swirly spell. If you cast it, you choose a friendly fighter in the range 1 and 2 attacks, gain +1 damage. It persists until the end of the round or until that fight is taken out of action. But you could possibly use that on your boss, use something like Fleet Foot to get into a position, cast that. He could be churning out a lot of damage standing there, just hoof kicking people in the face. I've then got Pounce. A friendly fighter can be pushed up to 3 hexes so long as they're adjacent to an enemy fighter at the end of that. There's 1 or more wounds. Well, possibly you could use something like Sphere of Akshi to wound someone, and then use Pounce to run someone up the field next to him who can start nibbling on their face. And the last one is Snare. Hunter only, push someone back after an attack action, or rather specifically drive someone back after an attack, and they take 1 damage. Well, that's another 1 damage. On top of all the other damage you can do here, you've got things like Abyssos's Withering, Sphere of Akshi, those kind of things can really help crank up your damage, so that should make killing some of the bigger fighters much easier to achieve. So what am I going to do with all that glorious glory once I've earned it? Well, these are my upgrades. The first one is Glory Seeker, +1 damage to the fighter's attack when they target someone with 4 wounds. That could be very handy again with all the other additional wound causing ploys that I've got to really help make killing bigger fighters easier. Then got Potion of Rage for that +2 dice roll when it's really important that you need those crits. And then Tomb of Offerings. I've got some very key people here. When they kill someone, I want it to count. So I've got that one to give me +1 glory every time I kill someone. And then Blazing Souls, which is an interesting one because this isn't a deck that I built, like I say. This is one people have used, and they said they did pretty well with it. So it'll be interesting to see if they've used Blazing Souls and they've got Regal Vision at the same time. I guess one of the problems with these guys is if you want to hand back for a round or two, you can't inspire your guys very easily. This gives you multiple options to do that before you commit them to the attack, which is very useful. Then Spectral Armour. 2 dodges, always handy to have. A lot of my guys are quite squishy, so any extra defense is good. Then Eye of Kurnoth. The fighter's attack action has +1 dice, which is quite nice. There's an added benefit that if the target is a quarry, this fighter's attack action also has Ensnare. Now there aren't any cards in this deck to make someone a quarry, and maybe you need something like that in here, but also maybe you don't. +1 dice on all your attacks is pretty great anyway. Then Fast Shot, that goes on Altheian only, and it enables her, after she makes an attack action with a range of 3+, they can make another range of 3+ attack action. Now it's only 1 damage of course, but if you've got multiple people who are around who only have 1 wound left, being able to charge and shoot one person and then immediately shoot someone else could net you quite a bit of glory. I then got Great Fortitude and Great Strength, +1 wound, +1 damage, classic cards to always take, 1 to help you not die as much, 1 to help you make them die more. And Trophy Bow is the last one, another hunter only card, +1 glory. When you kill someone, if they're a quarry it's unspent, if they aren't a quarry then it is spent. But either way, get Trophy Belt and Tomb of Offering someone, use some of the ploys like Pounce to shove them up the field so they can just stand there hitting multiple people in the face. I will take that, thank you very much. Overall, this looks like a nice, simple deck. It's offensive, it's get in the face, it relies on their speed, it also helps capitalise on the instant scores, which they have some really nice, fairly easy to score surge cards, and they also have some end phase cards which are still also fairly easy to score that have a fair amount of glory in them. This obviously has 3 restricted cards and 6 surge cards. The overall glory count is maybe possibly a little low, it's about 15 of glory I think, but then you've got cards like Trophy Belt and Tomb of Offerings in there which could really help bump that up once you start chopping people to pieces. So like I say, this isn't my deck, it's one I picked up online. Let me know what you think of it. I think it's a pretty nice looking deck overall, but we'll see how it plays out in the Beastgrave. I'll see you soon.